Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to my channel. So, we are live with my mom, and we're going to talk about plant based breakfast options and ideas. So, this is a part of the 7-day challenge, the P3 challenge, Plants Prayer Peace. Starts today, started today. And each day, the daily challenge is to eat one whole food plant based meal, to pray 3 times a day, and then to spend 15 minutes in stress reduction strategies. Examples of stress reduction strategies are Bible reading, meditation, journaling, time at nature. Those are just some ideas. And prayer is a stress reduction strategy too. So, what we wanted to do is talk about breakfast ideas because a lot of people struggle with what to eat for plant based breakfasts. Because traditional breakfast is completely not plant based and not healthy either. When you think about breakfast, you probably think about waffles, pancakes, French toast, grits with cheese and butter, then bacon, sausage, eggs, and orange juice, coffee. It's just like completely unhealthy. So we wanted to give you some options of some plant-based food options as well as fruit options. Every time you eat, you should be eating fruit and vegetables. It's not a meal without fruit and vegetables. That's my motto for eating. Some people think of it the other way. They think if it doesn't have any meat, it's not a meal. No, it's not a meal if it's no fruit and vegetables. And if you go out to eat and they don't have enough fruit, try and order fruit when you go out or vegetables. But at least when you get home, make sure you get your vegetables in. Okay, that's what I do. If I go out to eat, I usually eat my fruit and vegetables before I leave home because I know most restaurants don't have enough. Or I will eat it when I come home because I am not missing out on my antioxidants and my nutrients. Okay. All right. So, welcome, Mom. How you doing?
I'm great. Good evening, everyone, and hi, Judy. So glad to be here again and discuss this important topic of breakfast ideas. Breakfast is an important meal, isn't it?
It is. No, you have hot flashes? Oh, it's hot in Bermuda. Which one?
It's hot. It's hot.
Okay, so we are live. I just checked my Facebook page to see, and then I want to see my YouTube channel. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's live. It's live. It's live. It's live. Okay, so we're gonna Okay, so let's both introduce ourselves and our plant-based journey, like where we started or where we are now, just briefly. So I'll go first. So I'm a holistic physician, holistic wellness expert, internal medicine, but I am plant based. Now I was fully plant based for many years, but for the past year and a half, I've incorporated some lean meats into my diet. My diet is now gluten free, plant forward, plant based, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes I eat a low FODMAP diet, gluten free. So my diet is actually very strict right now, very unique. But I eat mostly plant based. So that's kind of where I am. And the highlight of my meals is the vegetables and fruit. I eat probably like 2 cups of vegetables with my dinner. Lunch, I'll eat about 2 cups of vegetables too. When I eat a salad, it's like 4 or 5 different vegetables in it. It's very colorful. So very I try and eat the rainbow. What about you?
I love the vegan diet, but doesn't always love me. And I have a few conditions where eating a large amount of beans is challenging. So right now, I'm consume, like you, about 2 cups of vegetables for every meal, but occasionally I will have some fish, and occasionally I will have organic chicken. But I prefer the vegan vegetarian meal, and I'm gluten free, and I don't eat a lot of carbs. I don't eat sugar,
Mm.
and I try not to use oil and sugar. So and try to stay away from processed foods.
Yeah, that's a good one. I forgot to add that too. I don't eat added sugar or as much as possible. on rare occasion, and then I try and stay away from processed foods too. And like you, I had that same issue with beans. That started about a year ago, so I had to eat other sources of protein.
Right. I must have gave it to you.
Yeah, maybe. So what? Okay, so we want to start with um plant-based breakfast options. So I want to start with my
Okay.
favorite. I'm gonna talk about scrambled tofu because I love doing tofu and that's my thing. So breakfast scrambled tofu in place of scrambled eggs. The key to making
Okay.
this flavorful and to
Delicious.
taste like an egg is to use turmeric that makes it yellow, and then black salt. Black salt you can buy from an Indian store, Indian grocery store, but it's actually pink and it smells like an egg. It kind of has that sulfur smell, and it tastes um almost like an egg. It kind of gives it that eggy flavor. Have you had it before?
Yes, I buy black salt and use very little of it. So when you remove salt from your diet, you and when you do use it again, your taste buds are very heightened. So I use very little salt, and about 80% of my meals I don't put any salt in it. But the
Yeah, the black
tofu,
salt is salty. I only use a little
no,
bit.
yeah, it is salty. And the tofu is a dish that needs a little salt
Yeah, tofu
along with.
needs that flavoring and seasoning. So what I do is I just crumble the tofu up in my hand into a bowl and then put the seasoning on it. The black salt, turmeric, garlic powder, onion powder, mix it up, give it a good mix, maybe like some fresh thyme, and then I don't use pepper. And then I saute it in the pan with some sauteed onions, garlic, red and
Yeah.
green peppers.
Yes, I also will use besides the peppers, I will use mushrooms
Oh yeah, mushrooms is nice in it too.
and red peppers.
Now you know I don't like spicy food. You're gonna say pepper. You know I don't put pepper in my food. Black pepper or cayenne pepper.
Yeah, and
So
I
about
use
pepper.
the green, yeah, I use the green pepper. Yeah, I do.
But you said pepper, you talking about black pepper or cayenne, right?
Or green pepper.
Oh, okay. I
All
thought
three
you
of
meant black pepper or cayenne.
no, all three of them
You talking
exist.
about fresh peppers.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
okay. Yeah. Do you have a cast iron skillet?
yes. I have a cast iron skillet. Yes,
Do you use that? That's what I use because it doesn't stick.
yes. I use the cast iron skillet. Yeah, and I try to do oil-free cooking too.
It's hard to do
Yeah.
scrambled tofu oil free. What do you how does that work?
Since I've been oil-free, I
You
haven't
probably
done
haven't
tofu.
done it. Yeah, you need oil for that one. You need to
Yeah,
put some oil and don't be trying to scramble tofu without oil. Please.
right, right,
That tofu will be sticking. You won't be able to get it off.
right.
Um okay, so scrambled tofu, that's one breakfast. Oh, nutritional yeast. You can season some nutritional yeast on it too. And you can
Nutritional
put it in a
yeast.
burrito with some black beans. Oh, that's
Yeah,
so good. Or you can
or
have
you
it
can
with
put it. Or you can put it in a gluten-free flatbread.
yeah, flatbread. Or you can
Yeah,
have it with some gluten-free bread or some bread, Ezekiel bread. That's a healthier bread. Most bread in the
yes,
store is trash and not good for you. It's got like sugar in it. It's got so much preservative. I was trying to find a bread that didn't have any added sugars the other day. That was I was trying to find a bread that didn't have any added sugars, that didn't have any
okay.
wheat, and it was like there was none. And I was like, most of this bread in this store is not healthy. I ended up buying a gluten-free bread, and of course, it had some sugar in it, but not as much as some of the other ones. But some of the
Yeah.
bread is
So
almost like cake.
yeah, making a choice, a healthier choice for bread, is it can be challenging. Um, I try to do gluten-free flatbreads. You know.
Yeah, you make flatbreads like With what kind of flour? What brand of
Yeah,
flour?
I will use the equivalent of almond flour with a bit of coconut flour to pull it together, and a bit of flax meal.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I like your flatbreads. I do like eating this when I come in. So we see.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to say this too. If you're watching the replay later, type replay in the chat, and if you're watching live now, put in where you're tuning in from. Say hey. Let me know. Are you plant based, plant curious, carnivore, meat eater, eat every and everything? Like who do you have watching? Tell us where you're coming from and who you is. We're just sharing some plant based breakfast ideas. We try and encourage people to just be creative, experiment, and eat more plant foods. Incorporate this more into the diet. So we talked about scrambled tofu. And so, what's your favorite breakfast meal item, Mom?
Okay, I would say my favorite breakfast meal item is going to be burgers.
You like burgers for
I
breakfast?
Yeah, I like black bean burgers with on a flatbread
On
with
a flatbread?
lettuce
We
on a
should okay. We should
flatbread.
have we should have prefaced this conversation with first off. Did I say this time? This is our second live today. The first one we had technical difficulties. Did I say this time that breakfast doesn't have to be traditional food? I can't remember.
You didn't
I don't
say
think
that,
I said it because you're talking about burgers, and they're probably like, "What burgers?" Okay, you gotta preface this.
but they sell in the store, and I try to emulate that. They sell breakfast patties.
Yeah, but that's different than a black bean burger.
Breakfast patty is a protein something, and they have bacon for breakfast. So this is,
That's true. That's true. Hi, Isis. Isis is joining.
okay. How you do? So
Let me be serious. Let me not cut off today. Okay, go ahead.
I like to do black bean patties, not large to go on a burger, but small, and I like them to be real cute and small. And then I would have like about three of them, along with lettuce, tomato, and avocado on a flatbread. And you can always
Oh,
top it
so you
off.
do it kind of like a sausage, kind of like a
No,
breakfast.
it's round,
Yeah, they have
but I would
round sausage. Like they have round sausages. So you kind of do it like that, like a breakfast sausage, not like a burger. Is
no,
that how
it's
you?
not a burger. Because a burger, I'm going to want to have it on a roll, and I haven't found a gluten-free roll yet.
Oh, I see. And I know your black bean burgers are really good and your lentil burgers. Do you, for these though, do you bake them? You bake them.
Yes, the black beans burgers and all of the burgers do better in the oven. You get
Mm.
that sogginess out of the middle out of it, you know? Yeah.
Okay. So you bake them for how long?
They are going to be baked for about 15 minutes one side, turned over, and 15 minutes for the other side.
Oh, so do you saute them afterwards?
They don't need to be sauteed. There is some people who will saute them and then put them in the oven for 15 minutes. Mine, I put them right into the oven, and I like the texture. I'm
Mm.
trying to get a certain texture. I don't like what I get when I go out sometimes. Is sogginess, that
Okay, yeah, I can
falls.
see how the oven would dry them out a bit. What I do
Yeah.
when I do my burgers to get them to stay together so that they're not wet like that is I use a binder like oats,
I use flax
blend
meal.
it into a flour like oat flour, or I will put like brown rice in it or quinoa, and that kind of holds it
Yeah.
together so it's not so wet. And I don't add as much liquid to the black bean mixture.
Once the black beans are cooked, or if you're using the tin ones, you would put them in a strainer to get the extra liquid out.
Okay. I just
Yeah.
made some not black beans, pinto beans the other day from raw. Normally I take them out the can, but this time, I had this raw beans that I needed to cook. And I have some
How did
black
that?
beans now. I have some black beans that I need to cook. The pinto beans came out weird, to be honest. I think it just didn't stay together. The bean kind of like fell apart. I think I needed to
Because
do it
you
in
had
a pressure cooker or my crock pot instead of the pot.
if it fell apart, it sounds like they were cooked too long.
But see, they weren't. I was tasting them, and they weren't even still soft like how I like them.
So that's a little tricky sometimes when you can't get the texture right, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm gonna try it in the crock pot next time. But this was in the pot, and it took like an hour and a half. So I was like, okay, this is taking too much time. We're not doing this no more. But I have some in the freezer.
I love crock pot for beans.
All right, so we got black bean patties, burgers. That's the other thing. Breakfast doesn't have to be traditional breakfast, pancake waffles and stuff. It can be, but you
Yes.
can also eat lunch and dinner stuff for breakfast. I do that frequently. I'll eat vegetables for breakfast. I'll eat a big salad for breakfast sometimes. But we just wanted to share with you some plant based breakfast ideas. So we talked about scrambled tofu. Then we talked about black bean
Black.
burgers, and these are recipes. I do have these recipes in my different programs. I always provide recipes. And then people's gonna ask for the recipe. um. Oh, the next breakfast option. Let's talk about sweet potato hash browns or sweet potato bowl.
Okay.
How do you do your sweet potatoes?
Okay.
Bowl
So
or hash browns?
yes, yeah, sweet potato hash browns is a recipe that you scrub the sweet potatoes, and then you can grate them, and you can then add your seasonings, your aromatics, garlic, your onion, your nutritional yeast, turmeric that you like in it, and if you use salt and pepper, and then it's suggested to put in the air fryer. I don't have an air fryer, so mine would be done in the oven. The nice thing
Oh,
about sweet potato hash browns is that you're getting the vitamin A. You're not getting just getting a whole lot of carbs, you know?
you mean using sweet potatoes instead of the white potatoes? It's more
Yes, and
nutritious value.
yeah, and then you could always, um, if you wanted, you could always have the scrambled tofu on the side, or you can put a vegan patty.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can make lentil patties, you can make black bean patties, and this week I made soya bean patty. So you can always put one of those on the side to balance it out.
I've never had I've never had sweet potato hash browns.
Yeah.
I know in the restaurant they do white potato hash browns and they do them in the pan.
Yeah, I
Not.
don't actually buy white potatoes. So when you talk about a recipe, I just switch it up to sweet potatoes because I know that it's got less carbs, and I have to watch the carbs, and it's got more flavor to it. I don't have an air fryer, so it's going to be done either in the oven if I'm using the oven, or in a saucepan.
Okay. I do both. I do sweet potatoes sometimes and white potatoes I do sometimes just because I don't really always want the sweet of the sweet
Sure.
potato. So like right now I have some red skin potatoes and I'm gonna slice them. I'm gonna either slice them thin, season them with like some paprika, salt, um, garlic powder, onion powder, and bake
Yeah.
them in the oven, and that's gonna be my breakfast hash browns, my breakfast potatoes. Sometimes I do them in cubes, like half inch, 1 inch cubes, and I have that for breakfast. I would rather have potato as my like starch or side instead of bread. I really don't eat bread like that.
Yeah.
I have some bread that I have now that I just bought, but I really don't even eat bread anymore. All right, so sweet potatoes or potatoes baked in the oven, what you can have for breakfast with a patty or scrambled tofu. And the nice thing
Yeah.
about a box of tofu is that that box makes a lot, like 4 servings. So you can have
Hmm.
more than one meal of that scrambled tofu.
Yes, that's right.
So next I want to talk about oatmeal. I
Yeah,
don't think you eat a lot
let's
of oatmeal. Do you eat oatmeal?
well, I don't eat boiled oatmeal, but I make a delicious granola.
Okay. So oatmeal is
And
an easy one for a lot of people because you could just buy it, put it in the
many people
microwave.
love oatmeal every day.
Yeah, I don't eat it that often, but when I do eat it, I always add fruit, blueberries, strawberries, bananas, and then I add nuts for protein and healthy fat. So I'll cut up some pecans, walnuts, put that in there, and some cinnamon instead of sweetener or sugar. And I'm good to go. Sometimes I might add like a little drop of honey, but I don't even really need sweetener in it because the banana is adding sweetener. And then you got the blueberries and strawberries. It's like so good. And then by the time I'm done with all that stuff in there, it's like a big
Yes,
bowl and it's very filling.
yeah. So that's the advantage of using the fruits, um, like the banana and the berries, that it cuts down on your use of commercial sugars. I'm just going to get my water.
Okay. Yes, cutting down on the sugars. I threw out the last of my sugar a couple months ago. I had some coconut sugar and another kind of sugar, not regular sugar. But yeah, I don't buy sugar anymore. No cane sugar in my house. I have some honey, but it's so much better. Like just training my taste buds to not need that sweet. It's only that time of the month that I eat sweets. Other than that, I don't eat junk food during the month.
It's amazing the changes that we can make when we decide we're going to remove an item from the diet. And obviously, if you have visitors, like I keep honey in for when I have visitors who like a bit in their tea. I serve herbal teas. Like herbal teas would be going with the breakfast too.
Yeah, that's so British and herbal teas.
Yeah, yeah, I serve herbal teas. I
Yeah,
don't
I
serve.
love serving teas to my guests when they come over. And I have a huge collection of different teas. Yeah. All right. So
I
what's your
have
next?
a lot of herbs out in my yard, so I go out and I pick fresh herbs to serve, and that has a different flair. Has a lot more. It's a lot more aromatic, you know.
Yeah, I love fresh herbs. So what's your next breakfast idea option to share?
I would say that I would, if I could go in order, I would say
Just pick your next
the
favorite one.
yeah. My next favorite one would I think would be a burrito. You know, we didn't talk about a burrito, did we?
You talked about flatbread. I mentioned
Yeah,
burrito. I mentioned
the
putting
big
tofu in a burrito.
yes. So with the burrito, you can, or would I say, between that and zucchini pasta, you know, that's my newest recipe, right?
Zucchini
Zucchini
pasta.
pasta.
Tell us more about that.
Okay, so this is my newest breakfast item. You take the zucchini and you use a special sterilizer, and the zucchini is cut into strips like fettuccine. And then you put it in a colander, let it drain a little, and then you make a sauce on the side, and you have a little vegan cheese, and the zucchini is lightly steamed in a pan with very little water, and you keep turning it, and you don't cook it too long. And of course, you have a sauce. You can make the sauce or buy the sauce, and then you can put some vegan cheese on it, right?
Okay, so like you're using the zucchini instead of spaghetti.
Yes, for people like myself who have to watch carbs, sometimes I get a desire for tomatoey something. And so we call it zoodles. It's called zucchini
Yeah,
zoodles.
I've done it before. They sell them
And
already spiralized, so you don't even have to have a spiralizer. You can buy them
I
already
see that.
spiralized.
I bought that, but I did my last couple of times my on my own, and yeah, I like zucchini more
Mm.
as spaghetti.
I
I do
like it.
also
Yeah.
I also like it, roasted, with
Mm.
vegetables, and that could be another option. Roasting vegetables,
So the so so
and
so the zucchini noodles, you're saying you'll have that. What would you have with it?
a tomato sauce with a
So a pasta
vegan
sauce with vegan cheese.
cheese. And if you're really energetic, you can make some vegan meatballs. So they a lot of
Mm.
times their basis is walnuts.
Uh huh.
Yeah,
Yeah, that sounds
uh,
good. I actually feel like that now.
yeah. I was craving that. I did that about 3 times within a couple of weeks. Yeah.
What do you make your meatballs with? What protein?
The meatballs, if you really feel real energetic, could be made with walnuts. So it's walnuts, and you're going to be using some flax meal, and all the aromatics. So you can
Oh,
find
just
that on
walnuts? Oh, walnut meal.
nuts is going to be ground, and you're going to have flax ground, and you're going to have onion and your garlic and your seasonings and your oregano and basil, right?
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, walnut meal, like ground up. Oh, that's a good
So
one.
that next time I'm going to sort of do it in two stages. Make some vegan meatballs the day before, and then the next day do the sauce and the zoodles.
Okay, so that's kind of more like a dinner option, which is still good for breakfast. But do you have any breakfast items that are like traditional plant based?
Yes, you
What
can
about the
have
smoothie?
Ezekiel bread with avocado toast.
Oh, yeah, avocado toast. What can you add to that to give it some protein?
The avocado, you can add some hummus.
Oh, yeah, some hummus.
And hummus doesn't have to be chickpea only. I've experimented with canali bean. It doesn't have to be chickpea
I have
for
seen different kinds of hummus, but it's not often that I see that out here. Though mostly the hummus is regular
chickpea.
chickpea, which
Yes.
I think is what most people are used to.
Yeah. I like
I
to switch
personally
things.
don't really like the other ones. I don't know, because to me, I feel like hummus is chickpeas. So like the black
Yeah.
bean one to me just looks weird because it's like black.
Yes. I
I'm
find
not.
I use a lot of chickpea. Chickpea is a grain in gluten-free baking. So I try to sort of introduce other things. And so I now have northern beans that I have done as hummus, and I've also done cannellini bean. That's white, the white kidney bean
But do they sell
with
that in the store? Because most people's not would looking to buy it in the store.
looking to buy.
Uh-huh.
Um, no, I don't
Yeah,
really
these are
see
big.
that.
We're talking about the average person. We're trying to give
This-
ideas for the average person.
So just do the hummus
The
with
regular
chickpea.
hummus is fine enough. Yeah, with chickpea hummus, with avocado, with some hemp seeds on it, um, on the Ezekiel bread. That probably gives you like 10 grams of protein, maybe even more than that. And if you want, you can
That's
have some other protein on the side, like scrambled tofu with it.
good. You couldn't switch things around a bit, right?
Yeah,
Now
a breakfast idea.
another breakfast idea is bagels, and you can have bagels, whole grain bagels with a vegan cream cheese.
Yeah, I actually had that today. I tried Miyoko's cream cheese. It was very good. Have you had? It was on sale. That's the only reason I bought it because normally it's too expensive, and it's like
Yes,
I'm
I like
not paying that
yogurt.
money. I'm not paying that much, but it was on sale today at Whole Foods for like 4.50.
Yes, I like yogurt, and I love cream cheese. You know.
Yeah, I haven't had it in a long time, but I had a bagel. Although I don't think bagels technically are vegan. I think sometimes they use an egg wash. But you know, that's fine.
Okay. All right. So you want more ideas?
And then I'm sure they all know about smoothies. That's like the easy one.
Yeah,
But when you're doing yours, oh, do we?
we never mentioned
No, I
smoothies.
don't. I don't think we did. No, we didn't. So with
No.
smoothies, what do you put in your smoothies?
Okay, my smoothies is going to be loaded if it's a meal
Meal
substitute. So it's good.
replacement.
2 cups of kale, right? I don't like spinach all that much, but you can put whatever green suits your fancy. The berries, a half a banana, and a protein powder, and some seeds, hemp seeds, and flax seeds, and you can put a little bit of oat in it, like maybe a tablespoon of oat in it, and you can also put a nut butter in it. So I've been experimenting with my Vitamix with nut butter. So I make um,
You can just give them the ingredients because of what you put in the smoothie.
yes. So nut butter, you can put peanut butter
Mm-hmm.
or a nut butter of your choice. If you want almond butter, walnut butter, half a banana, protein powder, berries, 2 cups of greens, and the seeds of your choice. A sprinkle of hemp
Mm-hmm.
seed or flax for the omegas, okay? And that would be a meal substitute.
And the
And
nuts
you
and
could
seeds will keep you full. And then
and
I like the idea. I like eating smoothies that are mostly vegetables, so spinach and kale instead of the fruit smoothies. I eat fruit
yeah,
there, but it should still be. I like now to do them with a lot of kale or spinach.
and heat it up. And you will use a vegan milk. So if you're vegan, you want to use a vegan milk like almond milk or soya milk or coconut milk, right?
Yeah, or just water.
Yes. Now we haven't mentioned a baked beans. Baked beans is another side something that could go for breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult to find them, and I've been missing baked beans because the stores have too much sugar. So I'm
Yeah,
getting ready to make my own navy bean baked bean.
yeah. The ones in the store do have a lot of sugar. I've made baked beans before from scratch. It's a long process. It involves baking them as well. Like you boil the beans, then you bake
Yeah,
them. You use smoked
yeah,
paprika and other seasoning. It takes a very long time, and I was like, this is not worth it for me to be doing this when I could just
yeah,
buy them in the store. So I
yeah,
just kind
yes,
of don't really eat them because the recipe requires a good bit of sugar for it to taste right.
right. So yeah, you have to decide how much time you have to put in the kitchen and choose the recipes. Like for example, I mentioned baked beans. You
You're off.
could put the
Your camera's off to the side now.
sorry, you
Yeah.
can use your crock pot and you can put in um, a bean that you like. For example, pinto beans with a taco seasoning. That is
Mm-hmm.
delicious. I know you like that. And if you want to do a batch of it, you can do it in a slow cooker. But if you're happy with a smaller batch, getting 2 tins of pinto beans and just doing it on the stove top, right?
Yeah, that could be another idea. What in a burrito,
Yes, you can put it in
nacho
a burrito.
chips.
It could be a healthy whole grain nacho chip, right? And you can make your own nacho chips by taking pita bread and
You've been
cutting
giving
them
us so
in.
many ideas to make stuff. I don't want people to get overwhelmed. Thinking they gotta make everything, mama. Everybody ain't retired trying to make nacho chips and butter and cheese. But you want to give them the recipe to make nacho chips? How you make nacho chips?
You can buy flatbread and just cut it and put it in the oven and make your own nacho chips, or you can
With pita
just buy
bread?
from pita bread, or you can do it from flatbread.
So how do you
There
make
are a couple.
nacho chips? Because nacho chips are made with corn.
Yeah, the nacho chips uses cornmeal. I was just so you take choose a tortilla and use that as your base to do the nacho chips, and then you will um, use the nutritional yeast for the. You can make a nacho sauce as
Oh, the
well.
nacho chips, you're saying you can use the flour tortilla and bake
Flour
it.
tortilla, or if you wanted the corn one, you'll use the corn
Oh, okay.
tortilla.
I see what you're saying. Okay, okay. That's a good idea. Is that
And
cheaper
it's
than buying a is that cheaper or is that healthier? How is that?
healthier. It's healthier, always looking for
Because it's less
healthier.
salt?
Yes, and
Okay.
yes.
That's different. I had never
We
thought of that.
we never talked about yogurt. Yogurt
I'm still
could be
stuck
a.
on the making your own nacho chips thing you talking about. I'm like, you take a tortilla and bake it and it comes
Yeah,
crispy like a chip?
yes. It's requires a low oven, not too high. Yeah, so these
Mm.
are some new recipes that I have that when we get together we'll be trying.
Yeah, because I
So
just bought some nacho chips the other day from the grocery store. They make them fresh.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't really like I'm so bougie sometimes. I don't like buying tortilla chips, regular brand from the grocery store. I don't know what regular brand they have, but regular one. I like the ones that are the restaurant style that they make fresh, like in the restaurant. So there's one grocery store here that sells it,
Wow.
and it doesn't
I
have a lot
I
of salt in it.
I miss chips, and so I'm always looking to see how I can be able to get that. I miss that crunch. Yeah, and taco pinto beans with a taco seasoning goes nice with um, tortilla chips.
Yeah,
Now, what do you
that
what do
sounds
you think
good.
about what do you think about haystacks? Would that work for breakfast, or would that be better later in the day?
Well, we eat dinner for breakfast, but most people aren't gonna eat that for breakfast.
Right. What about yogurt? We never talked about vegan yogurt. You can take a
Oh
new
yeah,
vegan
yeah.
yogurt.
Vegan yogurt's another one. Like what is that
And
bowl with chia seeds? Chia seed pudding, something
yeah,
similar.
and yeah, the chia seed pudding you can put, use that sort of as a dessert sort of thing. But you can also put the chia in the yogurt for breakfast as well, and add
Mm-hmm.
berries, add your fruit, and you're getting the prebiotics in your
Yeah,
breakfast, right?
yeah.
So you can put the berry, you can put a couple of berries in it, and you could put, if you wanted, a nut butter, and
In the
if you
yogurt.
wanted, yeah, a nut butter in the yogurt to give it a bit more protein, or you can just put some chopped up pecans or walnuts in it, or nut of your choice.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I like yogurt. What's your favorite? Do you buy a vegan yogurt? What's your favorite vegan yogurt they sell in the store, or do you not have one? You
I
don't like
make
none
my
of them.
own.
You don't like none of them.
I
Listen,
don't like
I
them,
know.
any of them.
They
I don't. They're
mm,
watery.
yeah, they are
The
kind of
water.
watery. The
Yeah.
best
So
one so far that I've found is Forager brand.
I like Forager. It's very pricey in Bermuda, so I
It's
enjoy it when
pricey
I'm in
here
the
too.
States.
I buy it when it's on sale. Right now it's like $7 for what is it, a pint or whatever. And the individual
Wow,
serving sizes is like $2 or 2.50. And
wow.
I buy the
Yeah,
unsweetened one. It's
yeah.
gotten
The
ridiculous
for
with these vegan food substitutes. That's why I eat mostly unprocessed vegan food. I don't really eat the vegan cheeses, yogurts, veggie meat, and all that stuff because it's not healthy, particularly, and then it's very expensive. And it's like I'm not trying to
yeah,
waste. But so we're giving them a lot of good ideas. So this will be on the channel. This will be on my YouTube and Facebook page, so they could listen to it again and get ideas. Again, if you're watching the replay, comment replay and let us know what you like for your plant based breakfast, whether you've
yeah.
tried any of the options that we mentioned here. And if you haven't signed up for the challenge, go to, I'll put the link in the comment, but it's basically theplantbasedmd.com. And there's a box there where you can sign up for the challenge. Today is day one, the P3 challenge, and today is Plant Power Monday. So tomorrow is Peaceful Tuesday, and I will be going live with a stress management doctor, my good friend and colleague, Dr. Wright. So I think we're gonna
Mhm.
wrap it up with that. This has been a 40-minute live, so we are going to say good night to everybody. Thank you, Mom, for joining me. Thank you for these vegan
Welcome.
and plant-based meal options. You have definitely given us some new ideas, some creative ideas for sure that people can use to incorporate more plant-based meals into their everyday life. So,
Did you know did you notice that we didn't mention things like muffins and scones?
yeah,
We did.
because traditionally they're not vegan unless you're making them.
They're not vegan traditionally, and it's hard to make them with yeah,
Yeah, I've made them vegan before, but I've kind of steered away from the grain or even wheat
recipe.
recipes. So like the breads, muffin scones, waffles, all that kind of stuff. I kind of move away from that and just like you
Right.
eat basically mostly fruit and vegetables. Like I eat
Yeah.
mostly fruit and vegetables. I eat protein, and that's basically it. I might eat some whole grains sometimes. Um, and just like
Yeah.
you, my protein nowadays is either a piece of lean chicken that's baked. I might have a piece of fish. Might have an egg once a month, twice a month, or beans,
And be
tofu. I eat a lot of beans and a lot of tofu.
and nuts and seeds.
Yeah, I put that in everything, nuts and seeds on salads. I'm like, I'm turning, because I'm turning to you because you, we used to make fun of you years ago when you were younger, say that you eat like a bird because you eat like sesame seeds, pumpkin seeds, you put that in everything. That's what I do now. Put that on my salads. And I was making a salad for Saturday for potluck. And I said, somebody might have a nut or a seed allergy. Let me not put any seeds in it. But it really hurt my spirit because I really wanted to put some nuts and seeds in it so that they can get some more protein. I wanted some pumpkin seeds so they can get some omega 3s. I wanted to put all of that in there, but I didn't.
Recently, I've been asked to do a salad. I will put the additions, and Maxine encourages put the additions, the nuts and seeds, in a separate container that people can add them if they have an allergy or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a nice idea. We got 4 people still watching now, so that's cool. But a lot of people will end up watching the replay. So hope you guys have enjoyed this live. We tried 3 times to go live early in the day. Finally, internet was working, connections were working, and everything was working. So this will stay up on my YouTube channel, P3 Ministry. If you're not following my YouTube channel, you need to go there follow. If you're watching on Facebook, and if you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Like, why you not subscribed to my channel? Like, you need to be so you don't miss new episodes. I do release a new episode every week on my YouTube channel. So today I was joined by my mom, and tomorrow, like I mentioned, we'll have stress management doctor. So, what closing thoughts do you have? Let's see, what fun question can I ask you? Um, I don't know, what closing thing do you have to share with the people? Plant-based tip to incorporate more plant-based food into your meals. Yeah, yeah. How about that?
Think,
Plant-based tip.
think, When you think about a meal, think plans first and build your meal around plans rather than think bread, cereal, muffin. Think plans and build everything else around that. And let plans be the center
Hmm.
of your meals.
Oh, I like that. Think plans. I feel like that should be on a t-shirt or something like that. That's so good. Think plans and build your plate around the plans. Very good. I love it. Well, thanks so much. I hope you have a good night. Everybody watching, I hope you have a good night. I hope this was helpful. And I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank
All
you. Good
right.
night,
Good
everyone.
night, everyone. Bye.
Bye.